we're going to be playing a little bit of Brotato. It's quite a fun game. You get to hold 6 weapons. It's quite interesting. And then you can combo the weapons pretty much however you want. They've released quite a bit for this game, but I think for today we're just going to start off with well-rounded. See how it goes from here. I'm a big fan of the SMG. And then I want to do it on danger 5. Alright, this is us. And it automatically shoots. You can set it to manual aim, but I don't really like that. I like the automatic version of it. I think it just targets the closest person to you, which is quite nice because then you just have to focus on avoiding the enemy. And then there will be bullets and things later, and it gets a little bit crazier. So what's just happened now, we've killed the enemies, we picked up all the green stuff that fell on the ground. That's your currency. It's these little green coins. But that contributes towards your level in the top left there. You can see underneath my health of 16 or 16 in red, you have a level. We are level 1, almost level 2. And now we get to pick an upgrade. And if we don't like these, we can reroll. For now, what we want to do, as I always want to do, is get harvesting rolling. So your harvesting goes up by 5%, which is pretty cool. It does that on its own. And I think that's after each wave, if I'm not mistaken. It also increases your XP, but yeah, I think it's after each wave that it's just going to have a little bit of a boost to it. So we kind of want to find that. So we're going to do a quick reroll. Not seeing it. Another reroll. Still not seeing it. If we don't get it on this next reroll, I'm going to settle for something else because I don't want to burn through all my money. And we got lucky. There we go. Harvesting. So now I've chosen harvesting. The harvesting went up to 14. That's great. So now we're going to get 14 material and essentially 14 experience points as well. So this is the shop. It's very nice. You got 4 items to choose from. So I'm always going to choose a weapon first, and then I'm going to lock the sharp bullet. So we're going to lock that in, and we're going to re-roll. And currently, like, this isn't bad, but we are looking for another SMG. This is also really good just for that health. I think that's great, and then we can always choose health regen later, but I think we might end up going into more of a lifesteal kind of build. Reason being, lifesteal is a percent chance, so if we put this on 1%, we have 1% chance that when we shoot an enemy, we'll heal for 1 health. Whereas health regen, we could have this on like level 5, and it's not going off a percentage chance. It's a constant thing that goes, alright, and it's going to constantly heal us, but it's going to be healing us for a set amount per second. This you have to build up, so you can see it's at 0.01 health per second at the moment. We can level it up. I don't think we're gonna. So let's go into wave 2. And there we go. Our guy's got 3 arms with 3 guns. Crazy. Joe, as we pick up this material, just slowly level up. There's a tree. The trees can drop crates, as this one did, which is pretty nice. And I can pick it up, and I will. And then that holds an item. Essentially, you get the item for free. It can come with negative side effects on the item itself, but the item is not something you have to pay for. And we got scared sausage. So now I can choose. Do I want to recycle, meaning that I won't get the item and I'll get the coins instead? Or would I like to just take the item and add it to my pool of items? And I think I'm going to take it. And it has a 25% chance to light enemies on fire. I'm going to go with range damage, and I'm going to go with health. I had 2 there, 2 choices, 2 upgrades, and that was because we leveled up twice. That's all that was. I can't afford more things. I've bought 1 SMG, and that's all we can buy. And then you'll see here on the side, right at the bottom, there's the scared sausage. So we have 1 crate. And I think that scales off of luck, whether or not we get a crate. So we might want to build our luck up a little bit more. But I'm not too worried about it. Kind of just want the money. These little fruits here on the floor, right, which is this over here, I'm aiming at it, gives you health. Okay, that's what that does. So if I take any damage, instead of trying to heal and waiting for that to happen, I could just pick one of those fruits up. And that'll help me quite a bit. Range is not something we're going to have to worry about. This is a level 3 item. That's why it's purple. And these are only grey. But I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about range. We can go into it just for the fun of it. You can see if it makes any difference. But it's not going to be that much, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I accidentally did buy a pistol, so we're just going to recycle that. I don't even want to be holding it. I don't want it, so we get rid of it. We can buy the sharp bullet just because, do a reroll and lock the SMG. So let's run into another round and see how it goes with 5 weapons. You'll notice I am shooting further, but I don't know. It's not as much as I would want it to be. You know, if you're picking something like a purple upgrade, you like should contribute a lot more. It doesn't feel like it is. Might just be because it's range. Some of the other stuff, it has higher stats, and then it feels a bit better. This just doesn't feel like it's doing as much as what I like another purple upgrade could have done. So we're not going to worry about it too much. So you'll see our harvesting keeps going up every round. We are now on 17. We'll keep an eye on that. I won't choose any harvesting now. We'll completely leave it. I'm going to grab the lifesteal because we were discussing that before. And I'm going to grab the health. Can't go wrong with that. We get that last SMG. And then we want more trees. And then this. We're grabbing the cauldron now for the pickup range. And then it'll also help us if we take some damage. The cauldron will kind of like reach us further and pick up those consumables for us. We can now see health regen went into the red, which isn't great. -2, and I'm going to grab this, which minuses another one, -3, and we're going to reroll, locking these 2 items. And we'll go into the next wave. Just remember that harvesting is on 17. We're in the next wave. I've paused, and the harvesting is still on 17. So it doesn't go up at the beginning, only goes up at the end. Then what I want to do before I pick up any material is, if you look in the top left, there was a bag. The bag has now disappeared, but in the top left there was a bag. You'll see some of these material when we pick it up. There we go, it says ×2, right? There's a bunch of ×2s. It's the material from the previous wave. When you kill your first enemy, it just takes that material from the previous wave, it kind of banks it, and then it drops it here, which is great. We don't really lose the material, we just don't get to spend it as early as we could have. We can only spend it now after this wave. So it's not a train smash, but it is something to keep in mind. That there we go, top left, that little bag, it's not banked up material. Now before I grab this, it's going to increase our harvesting, this fertilizer item. If we look at the bottom right there, you can see the harvesting went from 17 to 18, so it's going up on its own. It only goes up by 5%, but I mean, it's going to go up by 1 each time. Once we get to 21, it's going to go up a little bit more, which is great. And I do believe that this +8 is going to get us past 21 by quite a bit, so I'm not too worried. And then you see on the side there, harvesting 26. And then this range damage is +2, which is really good. We're going to grab that. So now our range damage is at 3. Okay, so this has gone up to 4. What we're going to do now, so we're going to grab this lens for extra range damage, and now it goes up to 5. And we do want to grab this SMG. These SMGs, okay, they're all grey. But what we can do is we can click on them and we can combine. There we go. So now we have a slot open for another blue SMG. This one is scaling with 60% of our range damage. So the damage will go up the higher the rarity of our weapons. But with such a fast fire rate on the SMG, it doesn't matter too much. Like this one as well. This is the next rarity up, which is amazing that we rolled into that right now. This is rarity purple, level 3. And I'm ready. Let's go into wave 6. Our characters are starting to look a bit bizarre. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to pick up that green crates on the floor there. We're going to leave it. And I'll show you why in a little bit. But at the end of this wave, any resources, crates, anything like that that's on the floor, it will just get picked up. There we go. So you saw it float to me from the bottom left. So we do want this, but we don't want to sacrifice the range damage. So we're going to recycle and get rid of it. We don't need much of what's here, but we can go with luck. So we want this level 3 SMG. It's not a big difference, but we want the level 3 SMG. So let's combine 2 of the grey ones. Get those a little bit up. We could have combined 2 of the blue ones, but I like to keep my rarities pretty close to one another. So that's why we're doing it in this order. Here, we want this SMG, so let's get that first. And then this one. the lemonade. +1 health recovered from consumables. And we're going to start the next wave. So you saw earlier, we don't actually have to pick up this crate. It gives us a little bit of health, same as these fruits. So we can leave it on the floor. It will give it to us anyway, but we can leave it there in case we need health. Then it will help us with that. The attack speed downgrade here, not too bad. We're going to take this. And then from here, I'm thinking we're going to go into some range damage just to put out a little bit more damage. And then there I grabbed the SMG. And we're going to grab a whistle. It's a unique, but it's also just an item. It's just something that helps us. Doesn't matter too much. Propeller hat. Some luck. A little bit less damage, but we'll grab it anyway. And then we'll lock these items. And I think that'll be it. And then the blue SMG, can't afford it, but we'll lock it. And we'll do a quick reroll. Locking in this lumberjack shirt, you can only have one of these. And choose die in one hit. And we'll lock the little muscly guy, or little muscly dude. Bringing up our max health. This is all we care about out of those 3 stats. And there's our little guy. So if we actually watch him, you'll see he'll go to the tree first all the time. Broke the tree, he's coming back, and there he picked up the material. It said ×4 on it, which is very cool. So he picked up a ×2 material and then doubled the resources of that. So we could just leave him to pick up all the material from now on, and we could just live like that. He is going to focus on trees first. As you saw, he ignored all the material to go to the trees, so that can be a bit of a problem, but it's not too serious. So for now, I'm just going to keep killing guys. He's not going to make it to these materials, so I just grabbed those quickly. But he did contribute quite a bit there. And here we're going to go for lifesteal again. I'm very tempted for the range damage, but we do need a way to heal if something goes wrong. And then we'll grab the SMG and the items we locked. This crown is quite nice. We don't need the rest of this, so we're going to do a reroll. We definitely want the fertilizer. And I think that is everything. That's a loot guy right there. You'll see he's got a little bag on his back. If we kill him, there we go. He did drop a crate in amongst all the other people. Might have been hard to see, but he did drop a crate. So that's what he does, and we have a 50% chance that he will spawn. So that is also great. I think it was a 50% chance on the next wave or something from that item. We can go read up on it again, but I was pretty sure one of those guys would spawn. There's another one. Kill this guy as well, hopefully. Oh, didn't make it in time. That's alright. Little frog. Amazing. Amazing item. I always grab it. Extra pickup range. Extra harvesting, which is currency. And a little bit less dodge. Our dodge is already at 0, so it's never going to happen. -3. Doesn't do anything. A turret. We are not building into the turret, but as it's only worth 9 resources, we can just grab one and it can lie around somewhere and shoot at people. And then again, lifesteal. Gotta go for lifesteal, gotta go for health. The fish hook curses items. It has a 20% chance that the items we lock will become cursed. So I want us to make a little note here of what we have going. I'm gonna lock these items. Okay, all of these are locked. This item is already cursed, which is amazing. I'll talk through that now. There's plus 15% piercing damage. We have 8% on the crown. And I'm going to buy this item. It basically just increases our stats after each wave on its own. Excellent item. We're going to get more health. Health regen will fix our current health regen problem. Lifesteal. To get our lifesteal up, the thing we're trying to build. And it's going to add 7 curse. We're not too worried about the curse. It's lovely. We're going to keep the curse. We want as much curse as possible. We don't care. So let's buy that item. Let's see if those items get cursed. With only a 20% chance, it is a little bit doubtful. But it is very much possible that they do get cursed. So we'll see what happens. I want to say it's a 50-50. It's 20%, but I want to say it's a 50-50 chance. We don't know what's going to happen. And we'll end up seeing. You can have 3 of those fish hooks, which gets you to 60%. But if you curse a fish hook, then I think it goes up to like 33% or something like that. 30%. Like it goes up by quite a bit. Maybe even more than that. And then you almost guarantee to curse items in the shop after each round, which is amazing. Yeah, we've got some luck and some harvesting. Might as well grab it. I don't care about the 2 stats that are going down. Range damage, amazing. Explosion damage and explosion size don't really affect us, but I want the range damage, so we'll take it. And then over here, we don't need the harvesting anymore. We don't need the lifesteal because of us picking up that item, so we can refresh all of that. We're not too worried. I think we can start dedicating into maybe some more survivability. I'm thinking with this health regen, we can put that in a positive and it will keep growing from there. So I think that's not a bad idea. But we also need to go into something like maybe armor and dodge. The crown is still at 8%, so that didn't get cursed, right? You'll see the crown image on the top left hasn't changed. There's no plus curse. The pumpkin, however, went from 15 to 24. So the percentage there changed. If I grab this now, we're going to have a 24% increase to our pierce damage. So it's going to take us down from that 70% to, what is that, like 46%. So that's not too bad. Just fixing a little bit of that. So we're going to grab this. I just want to show you. There we're at negative 70% damage. And we're going to grab this item and negative 46% damage. These items are all great. Okay, I really like them. We do move a lot, so this attack speed while standing still might not be the best, but I want these items cursed. I kind of get a little bit addicted to the curse. I want these things to get cursed, so we're just going to leave it. Something here should get cursed. Going into wave 11 now. Let's see what happens. Oh, so wave 11, didn't realize we have a boss. So you have two options here, and I should have checked this. We can either fight the boss or run. And I'm choosing to fight the boss. I'm really hoping we win. It does drop a red crate, which has a legendary item in it. But we are also taking a lot of hits right now, which is not great. We could very much die. I think I'm just going to run for a little bit. If we have to, we can always abort on the plan and just we can leave. But I did want to see if we could kill it. And I'm maybe feeling like we can't. I'm having quite a bit of doubts right now. There's a lot of shark guys running at us. There's a lot of bullets, and this guy's relentless. He will not leave us alone. So I think we're going to have to use the running strategy over here and potentially work on fixing this for later, because wave 20 is definitely going to have a boss, and if I want to go into endless mode, we're going to be able to kill bosses. We're going to take this, +1 armor, -2 speed. Not too worried, it's only at 2%. It's not that bad, we'll take that. Armor and engineering go up, health goes down, we'll take that. Here I think we're going to go with some range damage. We've got to be able to kill bosses in the future and things like that. So with that 20% chance, none of these items got cursed, which is atrocious. What we have here now, I took a shark fin, which gave us a little bit more running speed, which is amazing. And now alien magic, that's what just popped up. And this is going to give us a little bit more health. A little bit more health regen, so we're going to grab it, do another reroll, and then we're not going to be recycling any weapons, but this also counts for the crates. If we pick up a crate and it gives us a weapon, we can recycle that weapon and it'll give us 35% more materials, so we're going to grab this. We have a leather vest, that's what we wanted earlier, grab that. We can't afford these, we'll leave them locked, and we'll just spend a little bit more and we'll lock that item. The sniper gun's not bad over here, not a bad choice, but I do want to stick with our SMGs as we are doing 10 damage and 12, which isn't quite 69, but the cooldown on this is a lot longer. So what do you want? Do you want 69 but the cooldown's long, or do you want a 10 but a lot of 10s? Yeah, we're gonna have a fair bit of guys. We can kind of just check how fast are we killing them. So far, by the looks of things, we're actually doing alright. We need to have a little bit more damage though for that boss, and we're gonna need a little bit more survivability. We're kind of not even worried about these guys anymore. They're too easy to kill. We're gonna be focusing on killing a boss. That's gonna be our new goal. We can see we killed the loot alien there. He dropped the crates. We picked it up. It's at the top right. Piggy bank. 20% of your materials at the start of a wave. So it adds an extra 20%. So we are currently on 400. So we can grab that. And we will grab the health regen without worrying or thinking about that too much. Oh, and our locked items got cursed. Okay, so we're going to have to disregard that 435 at the moment. The harvesting increasing, very good, we'll buy. the garden, we'll buy. So yeah, we have the XP gain, we'll lock it. We don't need this. And then there's the jerky, right? So the jerky we do want, locking that would be better because it can get cursed and that'll be a lot better for us. Riposte, we aren't going to be using because of the melee damage and all of that, so we can ban this item. Now, that won't remove it forever, it'll just remove it for this character in this specific run. If we die, restart, whatever it is, that item will appear again. I think we get 7 bans. All that does is clear up the shop so we don't see that item again anytime soon, and we have more room to see items we actually want. We are running into a bit of an issue as there are more people. We might have to lean more into survivability than killing, because I don't see us taking out all the guys, but I can quite easily see us surviving. So I think with a little bit more dodge, armor, and lifesteal, some regen, all of that, we should be able to survive. The max health is good, but we're on 87, doesn't matter. And the other 2 stats, not great, we don't need it, so we're going to recycle. Armor is something I want to build, so we're going to go into that, and I'll explain that now. So now, if we hover over our armor stat, just to give you an idea of what's happening there, armor is on level 6, and I take 29% less damage. So, every hit I take is 29% less than what it would have been. So that's quite helpful for us. The statue is cursed, so it's gone up. The scar has been cursed, so our XP gain went from 20% to 32%, which is amazing. We're going to grab that as well. By grabbing these items, our curse has gone up from 27 to 33. So we do have to keep that in mind. And then I just want to do a reroll here before we talk about more of this. We are going to curse this SMG. This is the legendary item I was talking about. If you kill a boss, you get a red crate. In the red crate, you have a chance to get one of these. It won't be a gun, as far as I know. It will be an item. That way you can always grab it. So here we've got the candy bag. Now, this is a scary item for us. I don't know how much we want this item. But every time we load into a wave, we have 8 points randomly split between your primary stats. I actually think we're going to ban this item because it comes with the con of each wave. There's a 10% chance to spawn an additional elite. That means on a wave where there's already a boss, this could spawn another boss. And we're already struggling with 1, so I don't think 2 is a good idea. So we're going to ban this item. And there's a boss right there. If we had taken that stat increase from the candy, we would have had another boss up potentially, and we would have not survived that. We're already struggling to kill a lot of these creatures, so it is getting very difficult at the moment. Hopefully we can find a way to fix this or just get around it, but at the moment it's not looking too good. So having another boss would have been an awful idea. We're doing very good at the moment to avoid everything, which is great. There's a crate over there, and that it absorbed that crate on its own. It'll do that when you're running out of health. There are fruits sitting around that garden. There's actually quite a lot of fruits sitting around that garden. So if I came back here now, let's say I took a bunch of damage, there it would have healed me up. It ate a bunch of the fruits there. I took damage on purpose, but my health, if you check the top left, would have went down and then straight back up. Oh, the fairy. Now, this is a wonderful item. That +1 health regen for every different tier 1 item you have. And it goes up by 18. So let's grab this and I'll show you now what they're on about. So now what we're going to do is, as much as I want to grab this SMG, it did not get cursed. So we're going to leave it. We'll grab this, however. And what this relic does is it is a 100% chance to instantly attract material when it's dropped. So every bit of material, we don't have to go pick it up. The loot worm that we grabbed earlier, the little guy, the little worm, is busy breaking down the trees. He doesn't have to go pick it up. So he can focus on just breaking trees. It's his only task. And we will have every bit of resource that gets dropped to spend in the shop. So we're going to buy that. And then we're going to buy the jerky just to clear it out of here, because it's a 20% chance to curse an item. If there's only one item, it's the only one that can get cursed. So we're really hoping that 20% kicks in and works. Let's load into the next match and let's see how that material pickup works. There we go, check. Getting absorbed to the worm. All of it. Which is amazing because he has that chance to double the material. So this is perfect. Our health seems to be holding up. I think a little bit more armor and dodge is what we need now. The health is regenerating fast enough. It's coming back. We're not having to worry about that too much. We haven't died. We seem to be doing quite well. So I don't think we're going to have a problem. +1 elemental damage for every 30 burning enemies you kill during a wave. So this is good. And that attack speed's not going to bug us too much. We kind of want to fix these stats, get everything in the green. We're quite late into the game now, so we do want to fix stuff, but I think we will take this for that elemental damage, and we do set some enemies on fire, so I think this will work. Melee damage goes up, range damage goes down. We don't use melee weapons. See, so this would be something we're definitely going to be banning. And then here, I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to take this attack speed just to start fixing our stats that are in the negative, just because I don't like seeing that little red mark there. So we try and fix that a little bit. And here we have 2 SMGs. Oh my word. One of those definitely needs to get upgraded. And to show you how powerful the upgrade is, what do you know? We have a cursed SMG. So over here we have a grey SMG. Now, we already know the grey is before blue, and then it goes purple, and then it goes red. But as you can see, the grey SMG that's cursed, 16 damage. It's the same as the red SMG. A level 4 and a level 1 are the same, just because it's cursed. Imagine how much damage would be coming out of the level 4 if that was cursed. So now what we're going to do, we're going to add 2 blue SMGs together. We're going to grab this SMG that's going to be doing more damage than all the other SMGs. And we're going to do a quick reroll. Oh my word. More piercing damage increase. Definitely want that. And then here's one, quite interesting. The ice cube. We want that too. Enemies take 10% more damage for 3 seconds when first hit by elemental damage. Lucky for us, we have that little scared sausage that's been with us since the very start, with a 20% chance to burn. So, if we do land up having that scared sausage take effect and people are on fire, they'll be burning, which means we'll be doing 10% more damage. So let's run into the next round. Hopefully we've locked quite a bit of items. Hopefully something that gets cursed, and preferably the SMG. We are keeping our health up quite a bit there. It is regenerating quite fast. If you look at the top left, oh, we've taken a lot of hits. Oh my word, did we get lucky there. So, the shackles. Very tough item, very tough item. Usually I don't take this, but I think I'm going to take it now, just because I can, and we're on wave 16, almost there anyway. And your speed is capped at its current value. I'm not worried. Now, what do we want to go for? I'm thinking the armor is not a bad idea, so I think we're going to lean into that, take less damage. Nothing got cursed. The game is hating me at the moment. Not great. We could grab something here and just keep going and hope that later it gets a little bit better. I'm not too sure what the best plan is, but I think what we're going to do, just to get around this problem slightly, is we're going to grab the ice cube and the pumpkin. We're going to leave these. I definitely want those cursed. And with the game only giving us those 2 options, if it decides to curse something, it has to choose one of the guns. It can't choose one of the items. So we're going to leave these 2 on lock. We're going to load into the next wave, and hopefully it works out. I'm not too sure if we get lifesteal off of fire damage. If we're busy inflicting fire, does the lifesteal count? Is it constantly taking effect, or is it only when we shoot guys? I have no idea. And there we go. We have a mouse. I don't think we're going to take the mouse. As cool as it is, right? Extra lifesteal. I don't want those extra enemies. We're struggling to kill the enemies as is, and harvesting going down is just, it's a downside, you know. There's nothing extra to this. There's nothing special. Our harvesting is at 206, which is outrageous. I don't know how we got there so quickly. It must have been with that crown, but we don't want the mouse. We don't want those extra enemies. Can't afford it. Can't deal with it. Dodge. Our dodge is currently at 5, which I think is a 5% chance. If I go hover over dodge quickly, it is a 5% chance to dodge attacks. The max we can get this to 60, but dodging attacks means we take no damage. So let's go into some dodge. Let's get an extra 9% on top of that. Oh my word. And what do you know? We have some very interesting stuff here. So let's combine our SMGs and let us buy a red one. So that does 23 damage. That does 16 damage. And the purple one does less than the grey one. How tragic is that? But I'm so happy the red one got cursed. That's amazing. The chainsaw, very cool weapon. But unfortunately, we are not scaling with melee damage. We are not trying to get our, what's that, engineering up. And our lifesteal we are getting up, but I think that's the only stat that we are actually getting up. It does do 59 damage, which is pretty cool. But the cooldown is also 1.63 seconds every 40 shots. Now, I don't know what it means by shots. I'm assuming per hit because, well, it's a chainsaw, not a gun. But it deals 20% of your enemy's current health as bonus damage. It's not too bad. So the damage of the chainsaw can go up quite a lot. But I don't want to build into that. So we're going to leave it for now. I'm going to grab this penguin item, and don't worry about what it says, none of that's important. If you look at the bottom there next to that 84, it has a little fairy dude. We want that fairy dude. This is not good. Range damage is going down. All I do is ban the item. Knockback's not bad, right? Our knockback's at -3. I think we're going to grab the coil, but after we've cursed it, pushing the enemies away can keep us alive a little bit longer. Let's do one more reroll because we have a lot of money and we can afford to do this. This is going to be attack speed, crit, and range. Let's just grab it. Don't have to think about it too much. We grab it, we roll into the next one, and we hope for the best. There's a boss on this one, which I'm not excited for at all. I'll show you now. If I just shoot him as much as we possibly can, it could be possible to kill him. I don't know if I want to chance that, but it is 100% possible. If you wanted to fight him, you could. I don't want to die, so I'm gonna try and fight him as best I can. But if I have to choose between fighting him or running away to hopefully get some more health and then come back, I think we're gonna have to do the smart thing and just run away for a little bit and then come back. So right now we are trying to hit him just a little bit here, but he is taking off most of our health and then it comes back. So I definitely think this is doable. The SMGs are making a very good comeback here, and we are doing quite a bit of damage. He's about to die, so I'm just going to stay here. We're going to stick it out. There we go. What is happening on our screen? We have the fairy thing, which means if we take this item, our health regen is going to go down by 3, so we're going to be back on 50. We just took it from 50 to 53. It's going to go back to 50. Not that bad, not that good, but this is where you got to weigh things up, right? These big arms that we are getting because we just go to the gym way too much. This is going to add a lot of melee damage, which is great, okay? But we don't care. We are not in it for the melee damage. There's going to be a +6 range damage. We want that. The knockback, we want that. Attack speed and the speed. We don't want that going down, but it's not going to affect us that much. Our speed is currently at 5. It maxes out at 5. Bringing it back down to 2 and then something else bringing it back up to 5. We can bounce around and play with that. It doesn't matter. That's not important. Engineering goes up by 2. Killing a tree spawns a turret. This is Pocket Factory. I get very excited when I see this perk. It's very cool, very nice to have. We are going to take it. Every tree we destroy now with 1 bullet, because we have the lumberjack shirt, they die very quickly. We'll have a Pocket Factory activate. Range damage going up, XP going down, dodge going up. We're going to grab this as well. It's also part of the fairy. And then you can watch the health regen go from 50 to 51. Structure's attack speed going up by 10. Our speed going up by 5. Awesome. Our attack speed or our damage. This is what I'm looking at right now. Attack speed, not important. We're going to leave that. It's at 2 at the moment. But our stuff still attacks really quickly. Those SMGs are very fast. So let's grab the damage. And all our stats are in the green. Now, I know this is a bit of a up and down kind of emotional time. The stats all went into the green, but nothing got cursed. Do we mind? Not really. Not that bad. Look at that. Wave's over. Done. The harvesting we don't need, and it's going to bring our armor down. So what we're going to do, unfortunately, this is a good item to have. We are going to recycle it. We are not in the need for that, and we're going to go with dodge. Now, I do want to point out, we got horribly screwed on this front. Nothing here got cursed. So what we're going to do is buy out the whole shop. But before I buy this last item, I just want to show you. The top there, the reroll, is going to cost me 21. Minus 21 of the green stuff. This is going to cost me 193. So we're going to buy this. And look at that. The reroll costs nothing because the shop is empty. So we can reroll. We'll buy this. Just because the crit chance will go up, our health regen will go up, might as well. This, the crit chance will go up, might as well. Do another reroll. Pick up range and knockback. Perfect. Buy that anyway. The SMG we can buy. And we're gonna buy it because why not? Elemental damage and luck. Go for it. We're gonna be buying as much as we can. And here we're just gonna buy whatever's in front of us. We're not worried about it. These would have been cool items, these three. Not the medical gun for this run. It's a very good gun. Lifesteal on this is at 97. Our lifesteal is at 32. Just on its own base gun, the medical gun's really good. So we're gonna leave these items. Can't afford to get them. And I'm ready to go into the last wave. Wave 20. I hope you guys are ready for this. Let's see what happens. There's a shark boss which is shooting out a lot of projectiles, and there's another boss behind him. So if we just stay on the shark, and I believe this is the best way to do it, we can pick which one you want to fight first. I don't mind either way, but I think if we just stay on the shark and don't let him touch us, don't let him skate over us. If you try and run away and he keeps running in your direction, you kind of skate with him, and then he's on you the whole time, so you constantly taking damage. But there we go, watch that, bang, he's dead. There's the crate on the floor, the red crate from killing a boss. We don't need it, we can leave it there. What we're going to do now is we're going to kill this other guy. That's our only focus. We don't need the crates, we're not worried about the crates. We just want to get rid of the surrounding enemies and then focus on the boss. He's going to die. That's it, done. Oh no, the wave's not over. Why is the wave not over? We put it in this mode. Oh no, mistakes were made. Imagine if you didn't have enough health. But lucky for us, we do. We'll be fine. Got enough health, got everything we need. We'll survive. We'll do okay. There we go. Everything, look at that. Whole bunch of stuff. Pretty much done. We've got structures, we've got armor, we've got speed, we've got everything in the book. Buy out the shop because we can. But there we go. That's wave 20 finished. We can now go into 21, but you only have to go to wave 20. So what we're going to do is we're just going to end the run right there. We did complete it. That's it. Wave 20. That's all the materials we picked up, the guns, and our stats. You'll notice the curse got quite high. That did cause a little bit of problems having it on 60, but it's nothing serious. This relic was amazing. The thing that really carried us here though was this leaf. Absolutely fantastic. Kept us going. All of this works so well together. And that's that. That was Brotato. Thank you for watching. And I'll catch you guys next time.